Nuxus, he just sits there like a nugget, just watching them, picking them all up. Oh my lord!
Need that HP. Solid jumps.
Hello and welcome back to Talent League Season 9, another game for us tonight, and I'm joined by someone different this time. Of course, I'm Chamberlain. This time I'm joined by Renzus, who's here to join us and see what we can conjure up for the next game. How are you feeling for this one?
Wow, okay, I'm actually feeling kind of mixed because both of these teams are at the bottom of the leaderboard and we haven't really seen that much of both of them. So I think this could be like this will decide where the majority of the bottom bracket of the leaderboard will go and which direction it would take, I think. With I don't let me see the settings. We have three at the moment. Yeah, 3 teams with 0 points in general overall. So yeah, that's. I think we're gonna see. Yeah, I can just repeat what I said earlier. I think we'll just go for I will just go for Nerf Miner because I don't know both of these teams.
Okay. So like I say, I've already went over the schedule earlier on, but we have Nerf Miner versus Vitalize just coming up just now. And in terms of the map bands, they've just came through, and we'll have a look at where we're going to be visiting at least. And I'm just looking at them now. I believe it's Villa, if I'm looking at it correctly. And Vitalize will be starting on the attack with Nerf Miner on the defense. So what are you thinking of Villa?
Oh, I'm actually very biased through Villa, which is my experience one of the most exciting maps to watch, as it's more very even, more even for both attack and defender side. It's not really that much I can say about that. We have seen it last week against Esports against White Tigers, which, I mean, what can I say about that? Not really much. I will just give it up to you.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty standard map. Everybody knows how it plays. That's why you see it a lot in best of ones. It's a very common map that you see. You know, you have if you're holding AVG, you take from Master. Holding the trophy side, you take from the AVG side. It's pretty much a flip and flop, basically. It's a straight up standard map for a map pool like a best of one. So I'm not surprised to see Villa come through. We're going to be getting just started in just a second. We're pretty much ready to go. We're just waiting on the final call from the teams before we get in. But I'll just very quickly touch on the predictions. Now, they're almost evenly matched. They edge it out now. It seems to be that the staff think that Nerf will take this 5 votes to 3 votes in favour of Nerf versus Vitalize. But like I say, I don't know them fully. I don't know all the teams that are within the leagues. I'm not 100% sure. I've only seen what they've shown so far in this league, and like you say, what you mentioned at the start, they're all on 0 points at the moment. So this could go either way, and hopefully, someone's going to get points tonight. Someone's going to get their season up and running, and I'm just hoping that we can get a nice spicy game after what was a pretty one-sided game the game before.
Yeah, actually, I'm very excited how this will go because. I mean, since we don't know any of these teams, we can't really be biased through one of them, which I think can hold some exciting options open for the overall game in general. Last time we saw it was very one-sided, very one-sided map, and I'm trying to take notes, but it doesn't work. Okay, sorry. We're gonna start with the basic knock ban. It's more of a comfort ban you see in this map. In general, you don't wanna. I say it in every cast, but I can only repeat it. You don't wanna just have a quite next step up behind you, somewhere on some stairs, some stuff. Okay. Following up with the Thatcher man from Vitalize, and just give it up to you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the knock ban's very common. It's been a mainstay for the last couple of weeks anyway, so I think the knock ban's going to continue at least for the next few weeks. I think we'll see that quite a lot, especially in the best of ones, because best of ones do come down to a lot of fragging power, and She's got a good gun. She like you mentioned, she can hide from those cams and make it a bit of a nuisance on attack. Thatcher ban still pretty standard, although we're seeing people lean away from the Thatcher ban a lot more just because you do have the introduction of these EMP nades, so he isn't as important as what he used to be, but still useful to get him off the board. Azami and Solo surrounding it for the defenders as well. Azami is very strong. I think she's one of the best operators in the game. She's changed the meta, and that those Kiba barriers can change things. You know, you can put up a barricade on the fly, you can move things. It's almost like it almost serves the same purpose as a deployable shield, as long as you don't let them get too close to it, obviously to melee it off. So they do have to dedicate some impact utility or some sort of explosive utility to that operator or those shields to get rid of them. And then Solus rounding things out. Not surprised on a big map like Villa to get rid of those drones and make sure that, you know, they can put this pre-placed and not have any issues with it.
Yeah, actually, Solus, as we can come back to her, I think she's one of the strongest bans you can get off on Villa, which is a very soft. Like you can play this map vertically from basically any side, which just opens a lot of opportunity for the Solus. And like in combination with this pulse, she can get very strong.
Yeah.
Especially on the side like Kitchen where we are right now, and in round number 1 we see the Nerf miner guys change with very decent setup here. Not holding top floor at all at the moment. Oh no, from 90, okay. Yeah.
Kitchen dining is the first setup now, just like you mentioned, over towards 90. You know, you've got Hap out there, and you've got another member as well just moving down towards the main stairs area. So you've got 3 members on the top floor for Nerf Miner. They're starting us off there. That's usually the play. They usually do dedicate quite a lot of players upstairs to make sure you can hold onto that vertical play and at least put a little bit of aggression in the face of the attackers as they try to take hold of that vertical play. And in terms of the vertical play that they have that sledge on side. They also have Ash as well with the breaching charges, so they have options when it comes to opening up those angles that they need. And Adapts has been able to get down to the pantry staircase and brings out the EMP nades to open up that wall. And like I mentioned before, it's not that bad that Theatre's gone because the EMP nades are available, and Adapts is making quick work of that wall alongside the Ace to make sure that they can get in from the pantry side, and just locked off that rotate as well by dropping those track stingers to make sure no one can come up from behind. And just as we mentioned that, the first pick is on the board, and that is the Ash to fall. Jonas is one to find that, and things are up and running within this round, and 2 minutes on the clock.
Yes, it did pretty well, and at the moment we're just looking at a very basic take here. Vitalize is not able to get any map control at the moment, and they're trying to push over pantry here with the breach open. And, Richard just gets rid of at the moment just on the flank watch trying to get through here, but Gridlocks are very good at this point, doing their job, and Jonas gets the kill on MBI, followed with the kill from Kevin on Meto, and that's a 4 versus 3 situation at the moment with 1 minute 15 on the clock. Oh, now the score is evened again with Kevin getting rid of Richard. Oh, yeah.
That's the flank gone, and Kevin just popping downstairs to deal with that flank. Of course, the track stingers paying dividends there. They're just proved a nuisance and too much to deal with for the Capcan, who isn't able to get up that staircase behind the attackers there. But 2 versus 3 now as Hydro's able to find Jonas, and it's a 2 versus 2 scenario now as Sale also gets the instant refrag onto Kevin. But inside the site is Hydro, and the diffuser is close to going down. Daps is behind the bomb chassis, but 2 versus 1 is Sale is able to find Hydro now. It's a 1 versus 1, and Hatful is able to find the final shot, and that is it done. All over for the defenders of Nerf Miner to take this round, and they find the first score on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think it's actually very balanced first round, as we saw a lot of things happening at the opening, like Vitalize mostly suffered through the entry frag, but they could even that out fairly quickly, and it just came down at the end to the trades that they did really carefully on both sides. I think it was actually a very. I didn't expect at all, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a pretty standard attack. Well, I say standard. It was a simple attack that they went for. They didn't really go for the top floor. They tried to just force and funnel things through pantry. And it was a bit of a strange one, to be honest. It was almost like they tried to rush, and then they kind of changed their mind. And then I think it
Yeah.
was because they lost that Ash and lost Mr. Easter, and I think that's why they kind of changed the idea. And eventually they just kind of forced it. They did get themselves into the site. They did at least get them in a position. Then when they go for the plant, though, instead they went for the swing and tried to get the kills. And maybe not the greatest idea when they had the foothold, they had the coverage. They could have went for the plant and just held from behind. And just unfortunate round for the attackers there for Vitalize, and they fulfill to that, and Nerf Miner take the first round. And of course, headed to a different site this time because they've just won that one. And this is the way Vela kind of plays out. Usually you'll see one of the main two sites. You usually see AVG or Trophy first. Or on occasion, you'll see a team go to Kitchen Dining to catch out the players with the first time. So that's what's happened to this one. They've caught them out. They've got that round. Great, happy days. Now we can go to the stronger sites. We'll go to the Trophy. We'll go to Aviator. Now Trophy's the option they're going to go to, and they're going, interesting enough, for a closet hold, which you don't see often.
Wait, is this a triple spawn peak?
It looks like
Oh.
it.
Oh my god. And they're not getting any pressure down from there because nobody's actually there. Just the Sophia, and there's the jump out from Richard, who gets the kill on the Sophia and can get the entry frag here for the miners. Miners for the Nerf miners, which now are one man in the lead, and with Vitalize being with 3 people in kitchen, trying to get some hold from below, probably trying to like nade out some of the utility or one or two of the enemies, which probably will not succeed, as there's actually nobody at the minute. But my theory would be from that they're at the moment a little bit unsure where they want to push and just trying to poke some holes in the defense. Wow, and with smokes deep into the closet, now swinging around, getting a kill on Easter. Mr. Easter, but instantly, oh no, it doesn't get refract, but a refract from one of the Vitalize guys on the Nerf guys, and Jonas out with that. And this is still a very evened out situation. Vitalize being dragged out again with Mr. Easter now down. And now it's a 1 versus 4 situation. Okay, with Kevin being alone on the top floor, still outside the building, and only about 1 minute left against 4 people.
Yeah, he still has a Frostman to deal with in closet, so he's just having to move around and negotiate these windows to make sure that he isn't caught, just kind of not paying attention to these angles. But 2 members have rotated into Master to try and find the kill. They've only got 1 player to deal with. They've stopped him from getting in the map. He does have the diffuser, so if he is able to land the shots, he can get himself towards the site, but that's not going to happen. Sail with the final shot off the window inside of Study with a long shot all the way through to the balcony. And that is that for that round. Nerf Miner take another round on their defense on Villa.
At the moment, it just looks like Nerf Miners are just the stronger team overall. They're not getting too flashy with their plays, not trying to overpeak anything. As I think they're pretty they know about the fact that they're not performing well in the last two play days. And just trying. I think they just know that these 3 points are for this map, in general for this league in this Playday is very important. So I do favor the play that they did there, and they're just trying to play this down very passively, very peaking too much, and at the moment it works pretty well for them, and I think they will just continue with that.
Yeah, I mean, Vitalize, it's been a strange string of attacks from them because it seems like they can't quite fully commit to something. They wanted to go for the top floor in terms of the Master. They wanted to try and take that closet. They only dedicated 1 player to there instead, and they dropped that player instantly. They then had another player rotate up there and take their place, and had 3 members downstairs inside the kitchen with nades, but they didn't really coordinate the nades. So it was almost like it was pointless to have that control because they didn't actually utilize anything. They didn't really play into these power positions below.
Oh my god!
Sale with the first pick, though, is going to find Joey and opens up the scoreboard inside of this round. And things are starting to cook earlier than they ever have done inside this map. And the attackers are at least up against the wall a little bit here in the starting of this round here. Richard still inside of bathroom, knows that they're going to start to clear through this side of the map because, of course, they are defending onto Aviator and Games, and that is generally the take that attackers like to do. They like to come from the master side, clear from Closet, and see if they can get through the map and make sure they get the roam clear turn. But Sale's going to get himself a double kill on the round and finds Kevin, and now things start to become undone a little bit here for the defenders. As Richard, though, with the C4 from below, finds Mr. Easter inside a bathroom, and things have definitely fell apart here for the attackers as Hydro is left with all to do inside of bathroom on his lonesome. But Adapts, where is he? Where's he lurking? He's been able to get himself off the window. He's still there, just waiting for someone to cross over, but it's not going to happen. No one's going to feed him those kills yet. But the first kill for the attackers does fall, and they're now in a 4 versus 2 scenario, and things aren't looking too bad as we speak, as they're not in the worst scenario. They can at least clutch this back if they're able to land a couple of hits here and there, but Hydro's going to take a little bit too much damage inside the bathroom and finds the kill, though, onto the Capcan, deals with Mato, and now we're in a 1 versus 3 situation. It's not even the Capcan, apologies, it's the Mozzie that has fallen to that. Diffuser is in hand for Adapts, still has the air jab, so can lock off those flanks and at least stop the aggression coming up from behind them from Nerf Miner. But look at them piling onto Landon. They're waiting for this. They're just going to pounce on that door, and they know as soon as the call comes for Adapts, Jonas swings, gets the kill, and Adapts is dead to rights, and that is another round on the board for Nerf Miner after all that aggression coming out early on.
Yeah, wow, that was a very good round from Miners. Vitalize just seeming to lack some basic coordination there, as you could, and they seemed a bit, I don't know, overwhelmed at the start, as most of them just went for a very one-sided push, and I think it just came down to them not being like they were picked off one by one and didn't really react to it. I didn't saw a drone like in front of one of the entries, so I think they're just doing very basic mistakes here that just costs them a lot of gunfights and rounds in general.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. It's just the aggression coming out from Nerf Miner. They just seem to be in the faces of Vitalize as soon as they step anywhere near the map. You know, they're not even. They didn't even get a foothold. They didn't even get as far as master bedroom. They only got a couple of steps into bathroom before an onslaught of kills came in. C4s from below, people trying to shoot them from the stairs, from master. There was players everywhere. There was cross angles all over the place. It worked, and it worked for Nerf Miner. But Vitalize will be feeling so under pressure no matter where they go in this map. And it's almost at this point where I think that they need to try and maybe just go straight to site. Cut out the middleman. Let's not play into the aggression. Let's not bother trying to clear the roam. And let's just go straight for that. Last time they did that, they were quite successful. Kitchen Dining, their first round, which is where we're going back to, they went there in the first round, and they were able to at least bring it to a 2v2 situation. They got themselves into the site, and they got a decent foothold in the round. They've not been able to get that since, because Nerf Miner have just been in their faces the entire time. So I think it's time to call it quits. They've took the tactical time out, and I think they should just give up on the roam clear and just try and go for the site play, and maybe bring a Monty, maybe bring one of those shield operators, and see if they can try and force it a little bit.
I think they're just failing at the execute at some points. Like it is, as you said earlier, it just came. They are trying. They're just going for some takes, like on the top floor, and when they were on some on kitchen. I don't know. It wasn't thinking round 2 or 3. And they didn't like capitalize of that they had the control up there. And it just seems like some of the coordination is just not where it is, and like out of my experience when I was back in the team, it just situations like this were were one of two cases. When the number one is the IGL is just like overcomplicating stuff, and or like the team cannot really understand what he's doing, or the other one is just that they're trying to play something, and one or two of the teammates were just not really listening to the IGL, which then cost them some of the rounds. And I don't know if any of this is happening here, but just looking like it at the moment, and yeah.
It's just unfortunately not coming together for Nerf Miner there. Sorry, Vitalize. Nerf Miner are able to open up this scoreboard in this round. They're able to find 2 quick picks. They find Adapts and Mr. Easter, who dealt with. And Mr. Easter had a good game last week, at least when I was spectating over them. And it's not been a great start to the round, but they are able to find one back. That's the pulse gone, and they'll be at least a little bit conscious of the fact that now they can move around a little bit safer without there being yellow pings and their position in there. But there's an angle being held onto Laundry just as we have the push through from Joey, who's not quite able to get in there, knows the feet holes are there, but can't push through because Jonas is on the reverse of it, though. But pressure's coming in towards Kitchen. That's Matto that has the Ella, though, but Kevin, though, is now up onto the doorway, doesn't know the player's on his right, and is going to be shot straight in the face because of it. Matto finds that kill for free because Kevin doesn't check his corners, doesn't sweep the room correctly, and falls to that one there. And now we're in a 1 versus 4 scenario with maybe Joey left with all to do, has the hopes and dreams of this round on his back for Vitalize, and just pushing up the pantry stairs now, looking for the players, knows there's a player at the top of the staircase, doesn't quite land a shot though, but they line up now, at least gets a shot onto one of them, finds Matto, and a little bit of damage onto Hap though, but not enough to get a kill though, coming right through the hatch even. He just pops a couple of shots there, is able to land the pre-fire through, and somehow a couple of bullets stray through and find the kill into the last player there of Joey, and that's another round on the board for Nerf Minor.
Wow, what a finisher kill. Oh my god, I didn't know if it's just me, but it just looks like it's again that Vitalize just was on some other, like, two of the players, like the Ace and I think it was Ayana. They just went on the pantry side, and Nomad was just in a position where she didn't could really help their teammates and didn't really push anything to like play off the info of their mates, which again just came down to them running into the sides of the guys from Minor, which in the end just cost them the round again with already like 2 people down at the start of the round. That's actually not the score you want to see.
Yep, this is just not working at all for Vitalize on this attack. They're just not able to string any form together at all, and it's just unfortunate the way it's working out for them. It's a really good defense coming up from Nerf Minor. The aggression is there, the early picks are there, and the confidence is there. They're really throwing their weight around inside Villa here, and it's really working out for them. Although it's still up for discussion. We're only 4 rounds in. They can still come back from this Vitalizing, and a spawn peak, of course, sail on the end of that. Richard going for one as well, and just, if they're not careful with these repels up, they could drop a player early on, and Joey could be the one to fall if they're not quite aware of the fact Richard's on that window. But look at Matto on the window as well. They're all waiting for these players to come to master, and there's a Claymore going down at least, and now they'll be a little bit more conscious of jumping out, but Hydro gets the first pick. He finds Sail, and there's another one to come out as Joey hops out the window and straight into the Claymore and dies to that. Matto though finds Joey finally, and he's down for his trouble. It's just inside of Master, and Hatfield will come in to cover that player and just make sure they're not dealt with, or if they do want to get the kill, they're going to have to work hard to get it, because Kevin's the one on the hunt for that. Has the drone though, knows that it's through there, knows the player's going to be going for the revive, and that's exactly what happens though. Kevin catches Hatfield lacking a little bit, and it's a 1 versus 4 situation because that kill is all but confirmed, because now Matto lies just in doom, waiting for them to come and kill him off inside a Master. Jonas still going for the rotate down the staircase and looking to try and find Hydro, but now back up towards bathroom. Knows the player will be coming through there and is not quite aware of the fact that the ace is just around the corner, but Kevin just holds in wait, and surely the headphones are going to pick this up though. Swings through, and Kevin's the one to win that gunfight out in 5 rounds in the lead we see from Nerf Minor.
Wow, that was well played, very, very, very well. And I think that was the first one to Vitalize, and it could actually swing back there. I think it could actually swing back their mentality here and the momentum to their side. I mean, Kevin did a great job. I think he picked off 3 kills, and he played that perfectly on the down person. He used him as bait to somebody to get him up and get a free pick on which just then led to him getting a 3 pick on the horn, which then gave them a big man advantage in early states of the round. Which then actually led to Nerf Minor to be forced up on the top floor to get some refrags, and it didn't work out for them, as Kevin got a nice 3k here, and that's what you want to see from a support. I mean, normally you want to see this from the entries, but at the moment here with Mr. East, standing 0-4, I think it just doesn't work, and he has to wake up here in the next few rounds. Otherwise, it can be quite difficult, because I don't think that Kevin or Adapts are getting dead another time fairly quickly.
Yeah, Vitalize, I do apologise there just for the wrong call there. Vitalize, of course, picking up the round there on their attack. So 4-1 is the split, it's not 5-0, so apologies there. But first round for Vitalize, it was essentially, it was a bit more gifted to them than you would like. Of course, that aggression from Nerf Minor, you mentioned it yourself, brought it out the entire game. That time it just didn't work. It was bound to happen. They were eventually going to get caught out playing their own game, and it did happen. Claymore there worked. And doesn't seem to be learning their lesson, though. Seem to just want to keep doing exactly the same thing. And Goyo of Hapville, just on that Astro Staircase, lying in wait for the repel. Adapts is the one that usually goes onto that repel, and just going to wait for it to come out. And the sound will be there for Hap, so he'll know that there's one on that window. And the first Goyo canister will be chalked off, and that's inside of a bathroom. So that's going to tick for 20-odd seconds before anyone can move. But the C4 goes onto the window and finds the life of Adapts. Mr. Easter, though, instantly refragging onto Sail, and that's them finally unlocked a kill on this map. They're eventually able to get themselves on the board on this entry roll. Another C4 goes up, but doesn't find any kills, as Jonas is able to find Mr. Easter, though. So one impact kill is the only one you're going to get. Vitalize are down to 3 members, and things are not looking too great for them. No, Hydro though goes for the swing and finds Jonas, but there's another one there for the refrag. Can he land the second shot? Does. He's able to find Mao, the double kill for Hydro in 2 versus 3. The swing right back into the favour of Vitalize, and the 2 members on site have to be careful here. They don't want to overpeak. They want to make sure that they're playing a little bit safer and just wait for these attackers to push onto them and not just force it too much. The rotate coming from Joey looks like he's going to go towards that study side and go from the balcony. Hydro moving up towards the landing, and the calls will come out. They'll know where the player is, at least for one of them, but they're not sure where Kevin is. He's on the drones. He's trying to get the information for the other 2. Richard knows that something's up, though. Knows that there could be someone coming around from the back end, and that is exactly what's happened. Joey onto the balcony. Richard, though, has moved off of that area. He's moved a little bit too soon, and Joey could be in with a chance here and getting that rotate in from behind there. Richard knows that it could still be a foot, though, and the double C4 comes out. Richard finds the pre-placed C4 onto Kevin and the other player at the same time, and now he's going to rotate in here and try and collect himself that triple kill because he knows exactly where Joey is. He's given away his position. He had to open that barricade. He had to move in towards study, and he's going to have to force it now because there's only 35 seconds left on the clock. He has to get in there. He doesn't know where exactly Richard is playing, but he's in the corner. A standard pre-fire will come out, but the crossfire is there. Which way does he look? Who does he take first? Which gunfight does he isolate? He doesn't know what to do. He's been held on both sides. He knows where they are. Swings out though, but one's going to find him in the back. It's Hap. Loses that one out. Beautiful C4 and a beautiful round coming out there from Nerf Minor, who clutched things up in that 2 versus 3 scenario.
Wow. Nerf Minor played that down so good. The double C4, they completely threw off Vitalize, and just, I think that cost them the round, to be fair. Because Vitalize, they had the man advantage with even more like 1.5 minutes left on the clock, with which they just didn't play. I mean, they tried to play that down very methodical, but that left minors in the spot where they could just poke a little hole in the attack from them, which just came down to them just getting a very, very nice double kill on this C4. And I just want to point out how I like that, how I like the coordination on the Nerf Minor side with the crossfire on the yeah, what is it, the study door?
Yeah, study door, yeah.
I'm forgetting calls here. Alzheimer's kicking, man. I just want to point out that because it shows good coordination from top to bottom, and I just think that Nerf Minor are doing. I mean, Vitalize. They're waking up a little bit. They're actually fixing some of the issues with the entries, but I think the drone work still needs to they need to still set up with a drone pay, which I just seem to took them way too long. And yeah, I just don't think that they are trusting their teammates completely, because the drone puller is way too slow from start to finish. To be honest, and most of the frags happened more on the basis of refrags or just face checking.
Oh no, look at this. Look at the push coming in from Richard, who's all the way at the top of main stairs with a blitz rush. There's an Amari on the other side as well, who's going to pop up as well and get himself a kill on Adapts, and it's a 4 versus 2 situation, just like that. Click, click, click. Triple kill for Sail, and 4 versus 1 though. Matto's inside a vault, trying to get the other player. Joey finds 1, and 3 versus 1. Swings out onto Study, can't find the last one, and Hap finds the final shot. Very quick execute. Blitz in through the study door. Maru in through 90. And it just all collapses quick as you like for Nerf Miner, who goes straight onto match point after a really quick round attack.
Wow, Nerf Miner saved their first point of this round. Wow, what a rapid push on this side. And it worked perfectly, as you could imagine that. That just shows that Nerf Miner are definitely the more experienced team and the stronger team at the moment here. And I don't think Vitalize can come back on this one. I mean, sure, they're doing a good job of holding down basic stuff, but it just comes down to communication, and I just can't repeat it like 20 times again. But yeah, just step up your communication game, and because you cannot let something like that happen. Because Nerf Miner, they played off the mistake that Vitalize is doing so well, and if they are not getting that, I think they will just do something like that again with now that they know the weak spot of the Vitalize guys.
Yeah, and they've very much implemented that weak spot attack every single round. They've found every single chink in the armor of Vitalize, and they've been so well coordinated. Nerf Miner, it's been brilliant to watch. They've changed things around for this one. They're going to bring a blitz again, and of course this time they're going to double up on the shields, and Monty's going to make an appearance on the round. And just to round out the shields as well, they're going to throw in a Blackbeard. It looks as though they're almost, toying with their food. That's exactly what they're trying to do. They're getting into that mindset, and they've flipped the push, though. They're going to go from a different side. They're not going to bring the aggression from study side. They're going to change it to the master side and sweep through the map that way, but they are going to be met with some resistance. You've got Hydro and Kevin doubling up together, one in Astro, one inside of Trophy. But look at that. They've got the call that there's 4 shields, and they've just dropped straight off. They don't want anything to do with it. Kevin's rotated all the way back to site. We've also got the other player around the back. Hydro's all the way into Aviator and games now, and they've just decided to give up. They don't want to eat any of the smoke. They're not interested in dealing with this. But Hatfell still pushing it. Look at the shields just flooding towards landing, and the pressure now starts to build onto Joey, who has to hold on for dear life and is eventually dealt with. Though the Monty though is able to get that pick, drops down and gets it. Mr. Easter's downstairs as well, and just can't deal with this. They don't know how to deal with the fact that there's so many shields. It's almost a troll round and like a quick match. They're just pushing straight through. 90 though adapts, is taking so much damage from that repel there from Sail, and Mr. Easter has to try and stop something. They have nothing to deal with these shields. They don't have anything. They only have a C4 in pocket from adapts, and he has to be very careful if he does decide to use it. And it's not looking too great for them, and now they're inside the site. They've pushed all the way up. Hapfell's been able to get in towards the maps, but Kevin's on the angle from the doorway and study. Hydro's had to drop back in towards Vault, and we have a player firmly in hold in place at 90, and they've moved around, rotated things. It looks like they're starting to think about the plant, but Sail's rotated round, and it looks like so they're going to provide at least one avenue of kind of resistance from that study balcony. And Kevin just has to turn his back, has to be a little bit wise to the fact that that could happen from at any time. And the flashbang does come in. Kevin will be flashed a little bit, but Matt was able to find Hydro inside of Vault, and now they're able to get them into a position to get the plant down. Hatfield's going to just hold Kevin inside the study, but he goes for the run out, though. Sail's there to meet him with open arms and gets the kill. Matto, though, adapts at the same time, and it's 1 versus 4 situation for Mr. Easter. Can he clutch it up? Can he go massive? He finds one. Can he find a second? No, the pistol in hand for Matto, and that's it. All over. Nerf Miner take the 7-1. They steamroll through Vitalize, and it is completely over and out on Villa.
Wow, the disrespect on for Nerf Miners. They did such a great job of just completely overrunning Vitalize, and they were just indefinitely the stronger team here. Vitalize completely being stumped and overwhelmed with the fact of 4 shields here, which they played, which Nerf Miner actually played down very good. And I just don't think that's that you wanna see this disrespect at all on a league like Talent League. So you really have to step up your game. So
Yeah.
it's actually a good GG. I think Nerf Miner did a good job of. They just showed us here that they're actually at a part of that they can actually step back into the higher tier of the league and can compete with the stronger teams at the moment. But I mean, it's only Playday 3, and there's a lot to come. So
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a really good game to watch. It was really entertaining. It was nice to see some different takes on it. Of course, best of one. This is where you'll see the aggression. This is where you'll see people play a little bit more antsy, and they'll be a bit more aggressive, and they'll swing things. They'll jump out of windows, and they'll be a little bit less strategy heavy. It's just, of course, it's the nature of a best of one because it just comes down to who's best on the day. It's not as strat heavy. You don't see people stratting as much just because they want to hide a little bit for later on if they need it. They don't want to show too much. And it's been a brilliant game though. So entertaining to watch. I'm happy that it happened. Even though it was a 7-1 scenario, it was fun to watch. I think, the viewers will have enjoyed that game at least. But that's it. I think that's going to be it for that game. We have one more game left after it, and that is going to be it after we are done. So not long till the next game though. We'll get that started. It's 25 minutes is meant to be the time it's scheduled for, but I can see that people are maybe want to get things moving a little bit quicker. So 25 minutes though is the guide time. So we'll certainly keep you up to date if there is any more in terms of if they're going to be starting earlier or whatever. But we'll certainly keep you up to date. See you in the next one though. See you. Have fun on your break. Bye.